If you've ever left a social gathering and felt an overwhelming need to be alone, not because you're upset or angry, but because your mind feels crowded and your body feels tired, you might have wondered why something that looked enjoyable drained you so deeply. Psychology says this isn't antisocial behavior, it's a nervous system response, and that need for solitude is your brain asking for recovery, not rejection. What you experience is often called a social hangover, and research shows that some brains process social interaction more intensely, which means connection costs more energy for you than it does for others. This isn't weakness, it's depth. Your mind takes in more than it shows, and that input needs time to settle. When you socialize, your brain doesn't just hear words, it tracks tone, facial expressions, emotional shifts, and unspoken cues. Psychology calls this social cognition. And people high in it unconsciously process dozens of signals at once. So after a conversation ends, your brain is still sorting emotional data, and solitude gives it space to integrate what just happened. Another reason you need alone time is nervous system regulation. Research shows that social environments increase stimulation levels, heart rate, attention demands, emotional monitoring. And for reflective or introverted minds, this pushes the nervous system toward overload. Being alone activates the parasympathetic response, which slows the body and restores balance. You're not withdrawing, you're resetting. There's also emotional labor involved. Even enjoyable interactions require self-regulation, choosing words, managing reactions, staying present. Psychology says this constant regulation consumes mental resources, especially for people who value harmony and authenticity. So, when you're alone afterward, your mind finally drops the performance, and that relief feels essential, not optional. Your need for solitude is also linked to identity processing. People with strong inner worlds reflect after interaction, asking what felt right, what felt off, what mattered. Research on self-reflection shows this integration phase helps maintain a stable sense of self. Without it, you feel fragmented or overstimulated. So, alone time becomes the place where you come back to yourself. What many call social exhaustion is actually deep engagement. Without decompression, you didn't socialize. Wrong, you just didn't recover yet. Your brain needs quiet to close open loops, calm emotional residue, and return to baseline. And ignoring that need leads to irritability, numbness, or burnout over time. So if you've ever felt guilty for wanting space after being with people, remember, psychology sees this as healthy self-awareness. Solitude is not avoidance. It's maintenance. Your mind recharges in silence the way other minds recharge, through activity, and honoring that rhythm protects your energy and your relationships. You don't need to force yourself to stay available, you need permission to rest your social system. If this resonates, share it with someone who thinks you disappear after socializing, and tell me in the comments what helps you reset when your social battery runs low.